Hi, I'm Anthony from Cindy Backyard Veggies. Just out in my patch today. I'm over at my cucumbers. These were planted out in late September and they're actually at the time now that they need to be trellised. So today I'm going to go through and set up my string trellis for these plants, and I'll show you how I go about installing that for my cucumbers. So before I start setting up a trellis, just wanted to give you a quick recap of my planting here. My variety I've been planting here is called Cassib. This is a commercial variety and is a parthenocarpic variety of plants, which means that they don't produce male flowers, only female flowers, and it's typically used in greenhouses. The cucumbers are self-fertile and they do produce a lot of crop, but just bringing you closely in, I planted 20 seedlings here in spacings of 30 centimeters in the row, and the rows are at 40 centimeters apart. And as you can see, just bringing you up, they are just all the way from the top of the vine to the bottom. They are covered in little cucumbers. So they're ready to be trellised at the moment. At the moment they're starting to sprawl. I like to keep them off the floor just to keep the insects off them, just to keep that disease coming onto the plants as well. So what I'm going to do is it's going to come through and start setting out my trellis, and I'll go through those steps of how I do that. So in setting up my trellis system, I'm going to be using star pickets as my vertical supports. I like to use star pickets simply because they're a lot more durable and a lot more sturdy than other structures like timber. What I'm going to do is actually try to set these out at about 1 to 1.5 meter spacing. So I have one at the top of the row, one in the middle of the row, and one at the end of the row. And the idea is that they'll probably all be the same height, and I'll just have a top member and a low member brace running. These stakes are 1.8 meter star pickets, but I'm going to continue on and add the other 6 star pickets to the bed. Okay, so I've gone through and installed my steel pickets, and now I've got 3 per row, spaced at about 1.5 meters apart. And the idea there is that it gives it extra support to those tops members and the bottom members that I will be starting to install in now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to install bamboo stakes that I've been collecting, really probably 25 mil, 30 mil diameter stakes, and with a bit of rigidity in them that I can then put on top of this steel structures and actually strap it down using cable ties to hold them in place. And I'll do one on each side, and then I'll do actually a lower bar as well right near the plants themselves, and I'll strap another bamboo stake across that bed. So in that way what I do have is I have a top bar and a lower bar, which I'm going to come through and do right now. So let me show you how I set that out and then strap them down. So to hold the bar in place, I use a cable tie, which I then just strut through the top hole in the post, and just by tying it down I'll be able to hold it in place, and gives me an opportunity to then tie down the rest of the star pickets to the bar. There you go. And I'll come over to this side. And lastly, the far end. There you go. That's the top one. Very little play, and it's in place. So I'm going to continue on and do the lower bar and then go on to the other side. So I've just finished building that trellis structure, and as you can see, I've got the two structures with the cross members at the top and at the bottom. So now what I'm going to have to do now is actually run my string lines between the two pieces of bamboo. So I'll be using baling twine, and I'll be running individual strings, one per plant at this stage, to be able to, and then use that as the support structure for the vines. For my string trellis, I'm using baling twine. I find baling twine is really good because there's literally no stretch in the material, and it's quite durable in the sun. What I do is I'm just tying the top part up to the posts, and then measuring out the length of the cable, the string, sorry. I cut off the desired length, and then I'm tying it down to the post at the bottom, and that then becomes my string trellis. What I try to do is try to keep it quite taut, so that it doesn't move, and that's it. That's my string trellis, and then I'll use this as the support for my vine. So to come through and do another one, I'll show everyone how I tie them up at the top and at the bottom. So I just finished installing the string lines, and now every vine has its own string. So the strings are still quite taut, which is great. What I'm going to do now is actually going to go through and see which vines are long enough to start training onto those string lines and get them to start climbing up the string. Now, cucumbers generally won't climb on this string. What you will need to do is actually twist the vine around it, and as the vine gets larger, it actually grabs onto that string. So I will show you now how I go about training the vines around the string. So in training your cucumbers around the string, the idea is to gently bring the vine across to the line, to the string, but in a clockwise direction. Gently twist the cucumber vine around the plant. Now, don't be too tough on it. It will snap if you're not careful. But the intent is to just bring it in, and then you can't see. I might bring you closer to show you, but right there in the leaf is a little indentation where the string can hold, and that will hold there quite well. And I might bring you in closer to show you the next one. Coming across to the next vine. Here's my vine here. Bring it across. Again, there's a little indentation right there where the string will hold onto the vine, onto the string. So bringing it across, you essentially gently just twist in that vine around the plant. And there you go. That's now trained. And now as it grows, I will continue to do this training as I continue to grow. I'll continue to spin the vine around it clockwise until it gets to the top. I'm going to continue on doing the rest of them. So there I have it. I've just finished off setting up my trellising system, gone and installed all my strings, and I've started training the cucumbers onto the string lines. So now every few days I will come through now and progressively train the vines onto the string, and as they get taller I'll take them up to the top. What I'll do is I'll actually put some mesh on the top and then I'll sit the vines on top of that. I like this system. It makes it really easy to harvest the fruit. Actually the fruit will all be quite clear and you'll be able to access all that fruit pretty easily as they go through the lines. So they do need their first round of fertilizer and I will be adding that over the next week. But besides that, just making sure they keep well watered. I'll make sure that they weed free, and then hopefully in about a month's time, 6 weeks time, I should have my first harvests of this patch. Thank you very much everyone for joining me. I hope you enjoyed watching me set up my string trellis for my cucumbers, and I hope this arrangement works in your patch, and I hope to see you in the next one.